Hi, this is Dr. Mark Sehl from the YouTube channel, Therapy for the Heart. It's good to be here. We have a lot of snow outside New York City here, so I hope you're all managing. This is a 30-second talk on I wish I had the courage to express my feelings following interviews by Bonnie Ware of people who were dying on their regrets. This is one of the regrets. Last time we went over some of the points of consequence. I'm going to summarize those quickly. On the 12-year study of emotional suppression, it may convey risk for earlier death, including death from cancer. Men who had prostate cancer and who had greater suppression of their feelings of anger had fewer cancer-killing cells. Extreme suppression of anger was the most commonly identified characteristic of 160 breast cancer patients. A follow-up study of one person's group therapy found that the survival rate of women who openly expressed anger in the group doubled. Speaking of group therapy, I run a group, and the first thing that group expressed when they first met was a fear of judgment. And that's so common. We all have a lot of fear of judgment because we've been judged so much. So I want to mention that. Also, one of the common things that rang true of all of them, that they sacrificed their lives for their parents. And the first question the first regret was, I didn't follow my dreams. I followed the expectations of others. So that was very true of all of them. Now they're doing very well. They're many that have followed their own dreams. They have their own businesses, and they're a great consulting group to each other. I mean, they're fantastic. I love listening to him and not them. And I often say to them, maybe you should offer out your services. Best-selling author John Sarno believed that all lower back pain was related to repressed rage, healing back pain. He was very widespread and known author, and you could look him up. He's got a new book on the divided self, and his thought was that, and this is a not new one, but he emphasized this a lot, is that back pain was a symptom created by the unconscious to divert people away from stronger emotional issues that they have. Now, this is not, if you look at people who have a lot of common complaints about physical ailments, people will say, oh, they just want attention. Well, supposing they do, supposing that's the only way they could get it, why judge them? People often judge them, you know. They don't know that that's what they are looking for. Consciously, they may have some idea, but there are deep unconscious needs which probably were never met. So that may be the way of getting attention when they had a hunger for it, and they were made to feel ashamed. Oh, you just want attention. You know, how many times children are told that? Oh, you just want attention. Bad. I work with somebody who had severe anxiety attacks, and he alleviated them in a year, got over them. But you know, when they would surface, I would say, well, maybe you should just have a consultation with your doctor. And he felt very relieved, you know, as if he had permission, you know, to consult. And sometimes he didn't have to. But you don't want to convey to anybody that something is just in your head that they imagine. Pain is real, you know. It's like maybe caused by often psychological conflict, unresolved, but it's real. Symptoms are real. Often people don't know how they feel. That's why I'm reluctant to ask feeling questions. We were taught a long time ago to ask feeling questions. Well, people, if they don't know how they feel and you ask them feeling questions, how do you feel? They feel stupid, you know. Often people numb themselves. They just don't know. They don't know. They're numb. They numb themselves because they've been, as I said, criticized. There's so much pressure in life that there's too much to deal with, you know, and there's so much concentration on technology and not communicating with each other. So people don't learn how to express themselves. So you have to don't knock yourself for that. I worked with a woman recently, and she said, I really got a lot out of talk therapy, and she was informing me that, and she was complimenting me. And when she was a kid, she was boxed in with questions all the time. She was depressed. She should have been in therapy at that time. But what's the matter? What's bothering you? What's on your mind? You know. And she would curl up in a ball, just retreat. And now she's in an advanced program, doctoral program, and she's doing very well. But that's because I was very patient with her. I didn't ask her what was the matter. I didn't ask her that question. I let her be and let her evolve, and that's wonderful if you can do that with somebody. In A Little Life by Hanye Hanagahara, it's called A Little Life. I get a lot of my cues from literature sometimes, so I want to read you this quote about about defenses. Jude, who's the main character, describes how he felt about being asked questions by his mentor, Harold. Whenever Harold asked him questions about himself, I call those ego-oriented questions, he always felt something cold move across him, as if he was being iced from the inside, his organs and nerves being protected by a sheath of frost. In that moment, though, he thought he might break, that if he said anything, the ice would shatter and would splinter and crack. That's from page 140. So how fragile our defenses are, and how strong that feeling that came over him protected him against intrusive questions. So he did not mind being asked about. He did mind about being asked about his parents or how things were when he grew up, but he didn't mind being asked about his friends, and that was okay. You know, ego-oriented questions stay away from. Object-oriented questions are safer. I worked with a man, and I was trying to help him with his daughter. He was having trouble relating to her, and he'd always ask her about her grades, like, "How are your grades? How are your grades?" Like there was nothing else important in life, you know. She wanted to talk about boys and who was hooking up with who and how her friends were dressing. That's what she wanted to talk about. So I said to him, on your walk next time, I'm suggesting that you don't ask her anything. Don't ask her any questions, please. He's had a hard time refraining from something, but this walk he took with her, and at the end, he didn't ask her any questions. She started to talk about herself, about girls and what was going on in her school, and suddenly she said, "Dad, I need to tell you something. I've been cutting myself." Wow. So she was the mother was like, 45, 50. And she had her daughter late in life, but she learned about how to be with her daughter. So don't beat yourself up. Learn. And I'm going to sign off now. We will have another talk that's going to be related to questions that people were asked when they were dying about what they regretted. So there'll be more on that. So I'm Mark Sehl, YouTube channel Therapy for the Heart, and it's nice to see you again. And please like the channel. You can push that button if you have Gmail account. You can sign up and make comments. And you can reach me at 212-228-3467. Or you could actually go to marksehl.com/contact and write up a form if you'd like to have a consultation with me. And also my email address is marksehl, marksehl, @gmail.com. Thanks a lot. Signing off right now. Bye-bye.